I got 10,000 Instagram followers in under a year just using my iPhone for photography. Hi guys! So I decided to make this video because I feel like it's very uncommon for people to get very popular on Instagram with just their iPhone. It's not that people can't do it. Obviously, I did it. And it's not that it's extremely uncommon. I just feel like a lot of people have the misconception that in order to be successful on a social media platform like Instagram or YouTube or things like that, you need to have the best gear out there, the most professional everything. And that is just totally not true, and I'm here to debunk that, because what I did is I used my iPhone 5S, and then I got a 6, and then I got a camera. But I used my iPhone for, I would say, about 2 years before I got a professional camera. So I'm gonna give you guys some tips and tricks on how to grow your social media platform or grow your Instagram using your iPhone. I have 3 main tips for you guys, and so we're just gonna start with the first one, which is consistency. I think the most important thing when you're trying to grow your Instagram from scratch, like from straight up 0 followers, you just created your account, you need to post every single day, or as close to every day as you can get, because the way Instagram works is once you post something, it goes out into the Instagram app and people see it, and the more people see it, the more they like it and the more they engage with it, the more popular your post becomes because of the Instagram algorithm. So when you post every day, you're kind of creating a curve that becomes exponential, because you start at the very bottom and you post your first picture and it gets a few likes, and then tomorrow you post another picture and it gets a few more likes than that, and then tomorrow post another picture, and it just keeps on spiraling upwards. So that's really your goal here, to keep posting high quality content at a consistent rate in order to get more engagement and to gain popularity. So another part of being consistent is to make sure you're staying active on Instagram in ways other than just posting your pictures. So this could include posting on your Insta stories, liking, commenting, and following other accounts, which is really, really important, because the more you engage with other accounts, the more they'll engage with you back, and the more their audiences will engage with you back as well. So, and it kind of works the same way in life. You know, here's a metaphor. In life, if you want to make friends and you want more people to know you, you can't just be doing your own little thing in your room all the time like you're living under a rock, you know? It works the same way with Instagram. You've got to put yourself out there so that people can reach back to you. So more specific examples of this would be like when you first start your Instagram, go and find accounts that are similar to the account that you created, and follow them. See what they're doing, see what kind of content they're posting, kind of use it as a way to inspire yourself, but also to reach out to others and find people that are like-minded, so that you are essentially creating a foundation for your own brand using other people that have done the same thing with the same passion. And my last tip for consistency is to make friends on Instagram. I know, you know, from the very beginning, people tell you, don't trust people on social media. Don't blah, blah, blah. That's totally fine. I'm not saying you have to become best friends with these people, but it's good to create almost like a friend group, or like a family, a community is really what it is, on the platform that you want to really get into. Because if you are just on there, just a complete loner, you don't have any friends to ask questions about, get tips from, get advice from, it's going to be a lot harder for you to grow your platform all by yourself. And I'm not saying it's not possible. It just makes it a lot easier, because as we all know, asking people for help and getting advice from others is one of the easiest ways to improve yourself. So my second tip would be to consistently create high quality content. Whatever it is that you're creating, it needs to be really, really good quality. And like I said before, high quality doesn't necessarily mean high dollar or high price items that you're using, like your camera or lighting or anything like that. With your iPhones these days have really great cameras, much better than they did 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. So we're actually really lucky that we've gotten to an age where cameras are so high quality and they're so great for any kind of use. And so when I say high quality, I mean you want to use your camera on your phone to its fullest advantage. So my 3 tips for having high quality content would be to have great lighting, and the best lighting when you're using an iPhone is natural lighting. When I say natural lighting, I mean the sun, of course, but you don't want that direct, like yellow gold sunlight, as pretty as it is. You don't want that direct yellow gold sunlight because it creates like a very harsh contrast in your pictures. You're gonna want something more diffuse, so maybe a bright but cloudy day would be really best. So I encourage you to take your pictures by a window, whatever it is that you're taking pictures of, if you can, and if it's indoors. Take your pictures very close to a window or directly next to a large window in your home or wherever it is you take your pictures. And that's gonna give you that really bright but crisp and like solid lighting all over the image that you're creating. It's gonna really evenly disperse the lighting all over your object that you're shooting. And if you are shooting outside, really try and aim for a cloudy day. As dismal as it may sound, a cloudy day is the perfect weather for good photography, and I would highly recommend not shooting on a very direct sunny day and going for a cloudier day. Okay, so my other tip for high quality images is to use, if you're using a background, is to use a consistent background and one that isn't too busy looking. So when you're trying to create a brand, you want other people to look at your brand and your account and your pictures and see some sort of pattern. They want to know kind of what you're all about, what you stand for, what you're doing. Almost like they should look at your account and be able to give a 1-sentence summary of your style. So if you have a completely different colored background or pattern background in every single one of your pictures, you're not gonna have that same brand consistency that you want. And so it's not gonna be as appealing to other people who are looking at your photos and your account and things like that. So what I did was I kind of, not in the very beginning, but eventually I learned that I needed to create a consistent background, and I chose white because I just really like that clean, crisp aesthetic. So I just used a white sheet or a white poster board, and I set up a poster board as a flat lay, and then I had another board propped up against it so that my board was like this on the ground or on the table or whatever, and one kind of at a 90-degree angle. So the light next to my window right here would be bouncing off this board and helping not to create so many shadows on whatever it is I was photographing. So I chose the white. You can choose anything you want. Maybe you want a wooden table, maybe it's your carpet, maybe it's, I don't know, your rocky driveway that has some cool, like, different colored rocks. Whatever it is that you choose, keep it consistent, make sure it's not too busy. So by busy, I mean there shouldn't be a lot of things in your background that are drawing focus away from the thing that you want people to be focusing on. So if it's like a bowl of food, for example, you shouldn't have like a kid's toy here in the background on accident and a pen here on accident. So you really want to keep it consistent, have something be the center of focus, and everything else should not draw attention away from your main object. And my last tip for high quality photos is post-production. So after you've taken the photos and you're going to edit them, do not, for the sake of all that is good photography, do not over edit your photos. I've seen this so many times. Even I did it when I first started, and I look back at my pictures now and I'm like, what was I thinking? It's heinous. It's just absolutely heinous. So you really want to create a natural look to your photos. You don't want it to look like a child took the picture and then colored on top of it. So don't oversaturate it. Don't overly contrast it. Don't overexpose it. Don't underexpose it. And you want to keep the filters, if you use any at all, to a very minimum. I have always used Visco, the Visco editing app. More recently, in the last year to year and a half, I've used Lightroom Mobile, and I have always used on Apple products. I have an iPhone. I've always used the photo album lighting editing features which I've always thought were really good. They're always really crisp. And actually in the last year or so, Apple has really kind of upgraded their lighting editing and just their editing in general in the photo album app. So I really recommend that, and I only use it for lighting right before I take my pictures to VSCO and Lightroom. And so I'll make another video on that, on how I edit my photos. But those are really the three main apps I use. And I only use VSCO for filters. And VSCO has, I believe, a scale of 0 to 12 on filters. And I never take my pictures past 4, very rarely past 6 if it's, you know, I want it to look a specific way. But for more natural looking pictures, I don't recommend taking the edits past 4.0. My third and last tip is to find your passion and stick with it. If you have dreams of just becoming Insta famous and you just want to have hundreds of thousands of followers and that's your only goal, you're not going to go very far. Because you don't really have a passion. All your passion is numbers. And when your numbers start to slow, your passion will start to slow. You need to find your passion and find what it is that you stand for, what you believe in, what you want to share with your community, and stick with it so that no matter what your numbers look like on Instagram, no matter what people are saying to you, that passion is always something that will be consistent within you, and it's always going to stay the same, and it won't fluctuate, hopefully, unless you lose passion and then maybe find something else. But all I'm saying is, for me, it's vegan lifestyle, fitness, and food photography. So all my pictures on Instagram are food, of me doing something fitness related or something plant-based and ethical, sustainable lifestyle related. And you can tell that when you look at my Instagram, all the pictures are pretty much of the same thing or of something very similar. And that's what keeps people coming back to my Instagram. They know what I stand for, they know what I'm passionate about, they know that they can always expect the same thing from me, and they can go to my account when they're looking for something specific. So the 2 questions that I would have you ask yourself are, 1, what's your brand? So like I said, mine is veganism, overarching. And 2, what are you passionate about? So I'm passionate about spreading health, spreading fitness, and spreading an ethical and sustainable lifestyle. And just overarching, be passionate. Whatever you're doing, be passionate about it. Please love whatever you're trying to share on social media and do your best to find ways that other people can love it too, because your ultimate goal is to bring people in and share your love for whatever it is that you're putting out there into the world. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it's helped you, and let me know in the comments below if this has inspired you to start an account or if it's inspired you to kind of improve your account in any way, anything like that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.